Good afternoon, Justice Thompson.
Good afternoon, Carla. How are you? Hold on real quick. Congratulations, Carla.
Thank you.
I think.
It somewhat feels surreal that it's gone by, this year has gone by so quickly.
I know.
Exactly.
Well, you've got a good chief there, I think.
Hi all, this is Evan Laird with the State Bar. I'm going to be I have my camera off and I'm going to be turning it so that so that it doesn't show up on the screen, on the live stream, but it is currently live streaming. So just so you all know, I was having trouble with the filler holder. So there are only a handful of people watching now, but I'm sure they'll turn more in. But if you have any questions, just let me know and you can chat me in the box, in the chat box.
Thank you.
Chief Justice Vigil, it's now 3 o'clock. Are you ready to get started?
Madam President, yes, I am.
I want to welcome everyone to the swearing-in ceremony for the officers who will be serving on the State Bar's Board of Bar Commissioner in 2021. This is a special time for the State Bar. This is when we see the transition in leadership, and exciting always to see a new vision, a new approach, and a dynamic group of people who serve the attorneys in the state of New Mexico. This year, I am pleased to say that we are going to see a leadership team that works in such a way that they're going to be able to bring great programs to the members of the State Bar and a great vision to our state. With that being said, Chief Justice Vigil, I am happy to pass along this ceremony to you all, and thank you again for your continued support of the State Bar of New Mexico.
Thank you, Madam President. And on behalf of the Supreme Court of the State of New Mexico, it is my pleasure as Chief Justice of the New Mexico Supreme Court to welcome everyone to the swearing in of the officers of the Board of Bar Commissioners of the State of New Mexico. Welcome, board members, State Bar staff members, family and friends, and thank you, Ms. Cruz, for your leadership during this past year. If I may, I'd like to just highlight some of the important accomplishments that have taken place during this unprecedented time of the COVID. Even though that we had those that situation, that didn't stop President Cruz and it didn't stop the state bar. Early in the pandemic, the state bar decided to provide free access to its on-demand CLE library, and free CLE was also provided at the annual meeting at no cost to the members. Needless to say, this has been widely embraced, and I look forward to a lot more clamoring for this kind of CLE from the state bar members in the future. Also, President Cruz planned, and this was a long plan, to have a joint meeting of the state bar at its annual meeting together with the judicial conclave. Unfortunately, that did not happen due to the COVID, but the planning and the work that went into that, I'm sure will be put to good use in the future. And the court looks forward to doing that again down the road. Third, under your leadership, the state bar focused on issues related to diversity in the legal profession. The bar published 2 reports, the committee by the Committee on the Women and the Legal Profession and the Committee on Diversity in the Legal Profession. The state bar under your leadership will continue working with the court on diversity related issues in the state bar and in the judiciary. Thank you for your leadership in that regard. Something that's pretty new, but yet critical, is the importance of well-being in the profession. And the Board of Bar Commissioners created a standing committee on well-being, and it's starting to begin its focus on working with law students, attorneys, and the judiciary. Very, very important work that will continue, that was started and that will continue. And from a regulatory point of view, under your leadership, the State Bar created a legal specialization commission, and it's going to begin once again working on developments and specializations, starting with family law, which will serve as the springboard for other specialties down the road. Under your leadership, the Board of Bar Commissioners realigned its districts, and we thank you for that hard work in doing that. Hopefully that will foster greater representation for members all across the state of New Mexico. And not the least is the judicial vacancies. I've been on balancing commissions with President Cruz, where she's in her car talking on the phone and trying to balance things, and we get cut off and then we get put back together. And she worked tirelessly on those commissions. Thank you for your work on that. Podcasts, the State Bar is now doing podcasts. We look forward to hearing more down the road and establishing this as a permanent means of communicating with the members of the bar. And finally, the Judicial Clerkship Program. President, you did a lot of work on that. Unfortunately, the COVID prevented that from coming to fruition. But again, that work will not go to waste, and we look forward to having that program in the future. President Cruz, thank you for your work on all these areas and everything else that you did. And I will now call you Tina with all due respect. So thank you for everything you've done.
Thank you, Chief Justice.
And before administering, so now we'll proceed to the administration of the oath to the new officers. First of all, I'd call forward Ben Sherman. Ben, are you there?
Yes, Justice.
There he is. I see you now. Ben is currently an attorney in Albuquerque with a focus on workers' compensation and personal injury cases, and through his own law firm. Prior to his firm, Ben was a prosecutor with the 2nd Judicial District Attorney's Office and an assistant city attorney with the City of Albuquerque's litigation department. Ben is past chair and member of the State Bar of New Mexico Young Lawyers Division and a member of the University of New Mexico School of Law Alumni Board. He is a 2008 graduate of the University of New Mexico School of Law. Are you ready to proceed with the oath, Ben?
I'm ready.
Please repeat, please hold up your right hand and repeat after me. I, Benjamin I. Sherman,
I, Benjamin I. Sherman,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution and laws of the state of New Mexico,
and the Constitution and laws of the state of New Mexico,
and that I will faithfully and impartially discharge the duties
and that I will faithfully and impartially discharge the duties
of Secretary Treasurer of the State Bar of New Mexico,
of Secretary Treasurer of the State Bar of New Mexico,
on which I'm about to enter
on which I'm about to enter
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Thank you, sir. And Ben, Mr. Sherman, if you could please sign that, and we'll get it to the court where I can sign it.
I have signed it, Chief Justice Beal. Thank you very much. I just wanted to make some brief remarks. First, I wanted to thank the Supreme Court for your continued support of the State Bar. We're so fortunate here in New Mexico to have such a great relationship with you. It's really what allows us to fulfill our mission, which is to be united and inclusive organizations serving the legal profession and the public. And since graduating law school in 2008, I've really enjoyed practicing as a lawyer. And I know that with that comes some responsibility to continue to improve the profession. And so that's one of the major reasons that I got involved with the State Bar. And it's really an honor to be able to give back to the legal community and continue to make sure that we serve the public and the members to the best of our ability. And I'm really thankful to be here in the company of so many great leaders. I especially want to thank our outgoing president, Tina Cruz. She led the State Bar this year through an extraordinarily tough time with this pandemic. And I can only hope to follow in your footsteps, Tina, as well as Carla and Carolyn's footsteps as I enter into this leadership position with the State Bar. I also want to thank the rest of the Board of Bar Commissioners. They continue to inspire me with their hard work and their dedication that they put in to serving. They don't get paid for this, and yet they still show up for multiple meetings throughout the year, and they take their roles very seriously and give everything that they have to this organization. The people that do get paid, the State Bar staff, they do an amazing job running the State Bar, and it's become quite a well-oiled machine, and I really look forward to working with them in a leadership role. And lastly, I especially want to thank my family who's tuning in from Cincinnati, Ohio. They've supported me throughout the years, and I'm really appreciative of that support. And my many friends and colleagues, both here in New Mexico and across the country. I know this pandemic saved everybody a lot of gas money, but I know we all prefer to be with each other in person. And hopefully next year, I will be in the same room with all of you when we do this. So thanks again. I look forward to serving as Secretary Treasurer in 2021. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sherman. And next would be President-elect Carolyn A. Wolf. I see you there, Ms. Wolf. Carolyn is currently an attorney in Santa Fe, and she has a long history of public service. She has held numerous in-house counsel positions with the state over the span of a 20-year period. The list includes the Human Services Department, the Health and Environment Department, Taxation and Revenue, the Department of Finance and Administration, and Taxation and Revenue Department. Is there a state agency she hasn't worked for? She has also been an attorney in the Civil Division of the Attorney General's Office. Carolyn was recognized for her public service in 2017 by being named Public Lawyer of the Year. Are you ready to take the oath, Ms. Wolf?
I am, Your Honor.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Carolyn A. Wolf,
I, Carolyn A. Wolf,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution and laws of the state of New Mexico,
and the Constitution and laws of the state of New Mexico,
and that I will faithfully and impartially
and that I will faithfully and impartially
discharge the duties of President-elect
discharge the duties of President-elect
of the State Bar of New Mexico,
of the State Bar of New Mexico,
on which I'm about to enter
on which I'm
about to enter to the best of my ability.
on which I'm about to enter to the best of my ability.
Congratulations, Ms. Wolf. If you would please sign the oath and they'll get it to us and I can sign it and we'll get it filed. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I've signed the oath. And thank you for the opportunity to say a few words today. I wanted to, first of all, take the opportunity to thank Tina Cruz for her outstanding leadership in this really difficult year. I also want to thank Richard Spinella and the staff of the State Bar, in particular, Stormy Ralston, Evan Laird, David Powell, and Pam Moore, and of course, Chris Becker, for their excellent work in keeping programs and services going this year. While we've learned a lot this year about the capabilities of technology to keep our courts and our practices open and functioning, I really look forward to the return of in-person communications, hopefully in 2021. Thank you very much for giving me this moment to speak, and I look forward to continuing to serve.
Thank you, Ms. Wolf, and congratulations. And Ms. Martinez, there she is. Are you ready to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor.
Carla Martinez currently serves as Chief Administrative Officer for the 2nd Judicial District Attorney's Office. She has also served as Chief of Staff for Operations for the New Mexico Office of the Attorney General and had a long tenure as Deputy State Auditor. Carla also worked for an insurance defense firm and an international accounting firm. Carla also served as board member and chair of the New Mexico Gaming Control Board for 4 years, a very challenging job indeed. Carla also has a CPA and certified fraud examiner, so we better mind our P's and Q's during this ceremony. Carla is a 1998 graduate of the New Mexico School of Law and a 1992 graduate of the New Mexico State University. Are you ready to proceed with the oath, Ms. Martinez?
Yes. Yes, Your Honor.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Carla C. Martinez,
I, Carla C. Martinez,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution and laws of the State of New Mexico,
and the Constitution and laws of the State of New Mexico,
and that I will faithfully and impartially
and I will faithfully and impartially
discharge the duties of President of the State Bar of New Mexico,
discharge the duties of President of the State Bar of New Mexico,
on which I'm about to enter,
upon which I'm about to enter,
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my abilities.
Congratulations. Please sign the oath and they'll get it to us or we can sign it and get it filed.
I will. Thank you. Thank you, Chief Justice. Thank you, Chief Justice Vigil and members of the Supreme Court. I wish that we were there in person. In typical years, we would be in the Supreme Court and we would have members of our family and friends and other colleagues there available. But unfortunately, that's not the situation this year. But I appreciate that we are still having the opportunity to have this swearing in ceremony. I, like Carolyn and Ben, do want to thank Tina Cruz for her outstanding leadership this year. And it was a particularly difficult year for everyone, but Tina maintained steadfast and she kept the board and the organization moving forward. And Tina is very humble and she is a servant leader and she will not take credit, but as I told her in our board meeting previously, she gave a lot of credit to everybody but herself. But I think that all of that the board was able to do was because Tina kept us focused and kept us going despite the pandemic. The other thing that I want to thank her for is that even though it was her year of presidency, she continuously reached out to me to keep me informed of what was going on, to ensure that when I stepped into the presidency, that I didn't step into it not knowing what to expect. And so thank you for that, Tina. And I hope that I will be able to do the same for Carolyn next year as she steps into the presidency. Lastly, I'd like to thank Tina for encouraging me to get on the officer track. I often questioned whether I was in a good position to do it, and she encouraged me and kept telling me, I'll be there to support you, which she has done all year. The other person I would like to thank for encouraging me is Brent Moore, past president of the State Bar of New Mexico. Brent and I went to law school together. We have been dear friends. And Brent is another person who has been in my corner and been cheerleading me along. The other members I would like to acknowledge that have encouraged me has been past President Scotty Holloman, Wesley Poole, and Jerry Dixon. They also came to me, approached me and said, Carla, we really think you should get on the officer track. So I thank them for that. I also thank the members of the commission who had the confidence in me and voted me to be on the officer track. So thank you to all of the board. They are a very passionate group, very hardworking. As Ben said, all volunteers, but everybody has been engaged and is very thoughtful in their deliberation during board meetings. So I look forward and I'm excited to be working with them as an organization next year. I also want to thank the State Bar staff. They are amazing and outstanding, and Richard and the senior staff and all the staff that are involved have done an incredible job this year, keeping the programs moving, keeping their staff and members of the public safe. And I thank you for that as well. Lastly, I want to thank my family and friends. First and foremost, my husband, and I don't mean to get emotional, but without his support, I wouldn't be where I am today. I wouldn't be pursuing the things in my career without his steadfast love and support. So thank you for that. And I also want to thank my parents who have really instilled a strong work ethic in me and instilled in me a sense of community, and that it's important to give back to your community. And that no matter what, work hard, and when things get hard, to continue to move forward. So thank you for that. And so I look forward to moving forward and being president next year. I'm very honored. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam President Carla C. Martinez. It's an honor to have you as our president. And so we are in a session of the New Mexico Supreme Court, albeit remotely. So I'll call on my colleagues to see if they have any remarks, beginning with Justice David Thompson. Justice Thompson.
Thank you, Chief Justice, Senior Justice, Justice Bacon. Thank you for giving me a few minutes to make some remarks. In the time of COVID, we've been handed these little timers. You see these are 3 minutes. We can only be in close contact with someone for 3 minutes. I'm going to use it. I have now promised never to make a speech longer than this. So I'll turn it over and I will begin. Right, Justice Bacon appreciates that. Let me start with congratulations, President Martinez, given your experience and we know of your background, you are very well suited for this job. And you, as you recognize, I think correctly, you have followed a long line of people that have done a really wonderful job. And that begins my remarks with Tina Cruz, who is the pride of Peñasco. And Tina Cruz, throughout this COVID, has acted deliberatively. She has gone from theory to action quickly in a year. And the one project I've worked closely with her on is a minority clerkship program. Due to Tina's efforts, next Friday, we will have our first minority clerkship boot camp, in which 6 brilliant students from UNM and U of A will be presented with a panel of a federal judge from the 4th Circuit, a federal judge from South Carolina, a state court trial judge, and Court of Appeals judge from South Carolina, where we will work to improve both the quality and diversity in clerkships, but the quality and diversity on the bench. And Tina deserves credit for that. And as she did in recognizing the work Jerry Dixon did before her, and certainly Brent Moore. Tina, you did an excellent job at the State Bar. And as Ms. Wolf recognized, it could not have been done, I don't think, without the staff. And what I've recognized in the 2 years here is that you've built a wonderful staff around you that is responsive and gets the job done. I want to congratulate Mr. Sherman and Ms. Wolf. I know Ms. Wolf personally, and I know we both had a mentor in Sarah Singleton, who served herself as a distinguished member of the bar. Ms. Martinez, we are here for you to assist the bar in any way we can. You have a very active and interested Supreme Court, and in any way we can support you in your efforts, we are pleased to do so. I close with some sand left remaining. Congratulations. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you, Justice Thompson. And next I'll call on Justice Shannon Bacon. Justice Bacon, you have the floor.
Thank you, Chief, Senior Justice, Justice Thompson, and our newly elevated and minted leadership for the State Bar. I want to start off with just thanking each of you for the remarkable work that you have done this year. The pandemic has made all of our jobs infinitely more complicated, and I have been truly impressed by the speed in which the bar was able to pivot and support its members. CLEs were up and running very, very quickly. Everything's being, broadcast and go-to meetings and Zoom, but it was because of your leadership that happened with tremendous speed. You have created support around the membership, focusing on mental health of all of the members. I think that's tremendously important. And you actually pulled off your annual meeting. And it would have been very easy to say, oh, we'll wait and do that next year. And you didn't, you grabbed onto that, stuck to your guns, and pulled off a very successful annual meeting. And that's just a tremendous amount of work given everything that was going on. So I am completely impressed by each and every one of you. President Martinez, I couldn't be more pleased that you are now the president of the bar. I think you are going to take that baton that has been handed every year to somebody new and very impressive, and you are equally impressive, and you are going to run with it. I can't wait to see what you do with it. And hopefully a portion of your presidency, things will open up and it'll be in person, and I'll get to speak with you and congratulate you in person, but I'm really looking forward to your leadership. A real highlight this year has been interacting and working with Tina Cruz. We were lucky enough to get to work on some things together before everything got shut down. And Tina, I can't tell you how much it means to me that you spent a portion of your term as president focusing on access to justice. You know that is an issue that is near and dear to my heart. And the fact that the bar got on board just makes a huge difference. And the focus and attention you brought to those issues in particular in the legislature were incredibly helpful. And I'm just delighted that you are going to co-chair the Access to Justice Commission. So while you might get to breathe a little bit easier in your role as past president, we have, of course, snatched you up for another really important leadership role. And I look forward to working with you in the coming years on access to justice. This is a very solid group of leaders for the bar. I look forward to working with each and every one of you, and congratulations to you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Justice Bacon. And last but not least, certainly, is our Senior Justice Barbara V. Hill. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Chief Justice V. Hill, Justices Bacon and Justice Thompson, and members of the Board of Bar Commissioners. I want to say that today is bittersweet because we normally have a tradition of inviting you to the Supreme Court for this ceremony. And it's always been something very near and dear to my heart to attend and to have every year. But as we look forward, I just have to say that I am always amazed by the leadership and the tenacity, the calmness of Tina Cruz. She is like one of my heroes. She is such an amazing leader in so many ways, and I want to thank her for leading the State Bar of New Mexico through this year of challenges. You impress me every time I work with you, every time I have a communication with you, a conversation with you. You are truly an amazing leader, and we are so fortunate to have you here in northern New Mexico, serving the people that you represent and serving the State Bar. So thank you for all your hard work during your presidency. I want to congratulate the new officers, President Martinez, of course, Carolyn Wolf, who I've known, it seems like forever, and Ben Sherman. Welcome to the leadership of the State Bar. You will do an outstanding job. I know each of you differently. I've enjoyed working with Carla Martinez on a number of projects, and she has just impressed me every step of the way. So thank you for your desire to serve the State Bar and taking on this leadership role. And I look forward to working with you and supporting you in your initiatives. As well as Carolyn Wolf and Ben Sherman, we stand ready, willing, and able to support your ideas, your work in any way we can. You know, it's really amazing that in New Mexico we work so well together, the Supreme Court and the State Bar, and I hope that we can continue that not only with the leadership of the State Bar, but also with the leadership of Chief Justice Vigil and the members of the court. We enjoy that relationship. We enjoy the work that your staff does whenever we need anything. Richard and his senior staff are truly remarkable, and I want to thank them for everything they do to help us move justice forward and to serve the people who are members of the State Bar. So with that, I learned something every day from my colleagues I have to share. And today I learned something from Justice Thompson. So I am going to use the little 3-minute timer for future comments, not this one. But thank you for sharing that. And everyone be safe. And thank you for all the work you do for our lawyers in New Mexico and judges. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you, Senior Justice. Well, this brings us to the close of this ceremony. It just seems like just yesterday that we were doing the swearing in for Tina as president, and there was going to be the party. There was a party at the governor's mansion and all, and it just seems like it just went by so fast. So newly installed members, officers, it's going to be a fast year, a lot of work to do. And I can tell you that this court and our future colleague, whoever it is looking forward to working with you and making this a better place for lawyers and in New Mexico. And congratulations. And on behalf of the judiciary, thank you for serving in advance and welcome. So with that, we'll be adjourned, and please go safely celebrate with your family and your friends. Thank you. Adios.
Thank you.